Hey, Will Kenderdine here, and if you've ever wondered what the heck people are talking about when they say organic search or paid advertising online and this kind of thing, then you're in the right place. Um, what we're going to talk about in this video and a couple others that go with it are just using Google to see what Google has to say about this thing that's called organic search. We're going to talk about it in contrast to paid advertising and a few other things, and we'll even give you an insider secret on how sometimes Google exaggerates just a little bit, and the exaggeration is right here, and we're going to talk about that in this video. So stay tuned, and this video is part of a collection. So there's another video that has a little bit more about paid search and video and social media marketing. But this one, we're just focused on organic search. And what I'm going to do is just start by saying that, again, I'm Will Kenderdine, and you'll find me online at yourseosecret.com. That's all mushed together as one phrase. And then I also work with elative.io with the team there. So I am the organic search and marketing strategy arm of that business. So let's dive in. And what I'd like to point out is a couple things at the very top, just to make sure we're all saying the same thing, is that whenever I have a question, I'll consider whether it's something that I should Google, Google being a verb in this case, to figure out what, the nice people at Google want to present. And in this case, it works out really well using Google to tell us about Google and organic search. So I just typed in what is organic search, and as you can see, we get a really nice collection of responses, and everything from additional searches. So if I didn't find the precise thing I was seeking here, Google is kind enough to offer other things that I could click on, and then they also even format it in a different way. They give different domains that I might want to browse through, and then they even give an analytics tools in case I'm keen on understanding the organic search at a much deeper level. So, and of course they give videos. In case you are not aware, YouTube is owned by Google, or it's owned by Alphabet. So Alphabet is the umbrella company, and below Alphabet is Google and YouTube and Blogger and all these other things. So to stay on topic with organic search, what I'm going to do, and I already have it open in another tab, is the information related to this. So I just clicked on this link, and it opened up this tab, and I find that this is a really useful article, and I'm not going to cover all of it in this video. We're going to come back in a separate one to go into a little bit more detail. But at a super high level, this definition fits quite well with what I believe is relevant to you as either a business owner or a marketer, which is simply saying that organic search is a method of entering one or several search terms into a single string or text into a search engine. So when they say string, that might not be very obvious, but they consider this to be a string. And string is a reference to a programming term. But all they're saying is that you enter that, search terms into a search engine, and the organic search results appear as paginated lists, which Google gives you the ability to decide whether you want multiple, if you only want 10 results per page, or, and all that. And we can go into all of these things in separate videos, yet to go a little bit farther with this, paginated lists are based on relevance to the search terms and exclude advertisements, whereas non-organic search results do not filter out pay-per-click advertising. So we'll talk about the non-organic and the paid advertising in a separate video, but suffice to say that when we talk about organic search, it is exactly what we're seeing here. There are no advertisements, which is an important point because Google or the strategists behind Google have the power to decide which types of phrases are permitted to show paid advertising and which types of results are not permitted to show paid advertising. So as you can see here, there's no paid advertisement at the top, there's no paid advertisement on the side, and there's no paid advertisement on the bottom. And again, in a separate video, we'll give away the secret as to how you can tell which is paid and which is organic. But you'll have to just kind of go with my my observation here that these are all organic. All right, so that's the super high level of what is organic. So again, organic search, just one more time, is the what Google presents to you, or what the search engine, because organic applies to any search engine, whether it's Yahoo or Bing or any of them. When we talk about organic results, that is in contrast to paid. So paid search is a completely different thing. And again, what we're seeing here are all organic results. And just like it says over here, it's all about relevance. The search engine is trying to read your mind a little bit and to understand what you are implying with your search term. And then they present all these things to help you answer this question: what is organic search? So then since we're past the 5-minute mark here, what I'd like to do is to show you when Google gives this number, just to tell you a little bit about how they're perhaps stretching the truth a little bit. So if there were close to 1 billion results, if there were really 1 billion results, as we began to scroll through, it would scroll for a very, very long time, because on each of these pages there are 10 results. Now, the way that we can force Google to confess how many results there really are is that we look for the start attribute. So in this case, the start attribute is set to 80 because we're on the 9th page. We could talk about why this says 80 versus 9. But what I'm going to do is force it to jump way far forward, because right now it's only showing us pages 4 through 13. So if I put an 8 in front of this to say I want to start at 880, and I hit the enter button, it thinks about it and goes, oh, sorry. I know I said that there were 976 million, yet sorry to tell you that we exaggerated a little bit. So Google, although they said there were 976 million results, turns out that there are 253. So the number is much smaller. So that's the way you can force Google to confess how many pages that they find are truly relevant. And you can even do this, where it repeats the search with what they call omitted results. Go onto the second page, and then you do the same little trick where you find the start attribute in here. Right now, start is set to 10. So if I put an 8 in front of it, I could even put a 9 in front of it if I want to. Say I want to start at 9:10. It says, oops. Now it's included more, but it's still only 43 pages. So they're saying, page 40. Let's see. It's still trying to mess with me here. So let's see if we can get it to. Let's see what happens when we go to 44. That's interesting. So that it's 44, and so even on the previous page, like they just continue to try to mess with our minds a little bit about how much there is. But again, when you use this start attribute, you can force Google to confess how many pages really are available. So it's important as a business owner because this way you get a realistic sense of how much content is out there on the internet that Google is willing to report on. So, all right, so stay tuned, more videos to come, and feel free to post any questions or comments. Always happy to receive your feedback and create even more videos about this great stuff. Thank you very much.